And welcome back. I am so delighted to have with me Papito. Now this guy is a fabulous Cubadian. That's right, I made up a word. A combination of Cuban and Canadian. Now tell me, right? It does sound pretty good. Yeah. So tell me what it's like to be a Cubadian.
For me it means a lot to be here in Canada. Mm-hmm. It's a country that I love. It's a city that I love. And at the beginning, when I came from Cuba, I felt a little down, mm-hmm. as an immigrant. But wow, now I have no space to be more happy. So yeah, I feel really good. I love this city, and I am amazed every day.
And the city loves you too.
Yeah, for sure.
Now, it's a really remarkable thing. You traveled from Cuba. Now, tell me what it was like growing up there.
Well, you know what? Growing in Cuba is obviously it's very different, I think, everywhere. Mm-hmm. But I think I remember very clearly when I was a little kid, we have a lot of freedom, running around with no shoes, wearing a shirt, not too many clothes, and enjoying the weather, playing different games, baseball, go to the river. And it was fun. I think I don't want to say that it's good or bad here, but wow, I think the freedom that we had in Cuba as a kid was amazing. So yeah,
absolutely.
And I really enjoy my childhood. Yeah.
Yes, and that's phenomenal. So it sounds like sports have always been a part of your life.
Well, you know what? Sport, I think, it always been a part of our life. Sport and music, and it's the same like for Canadians, it's like hockey. Mm. So I think I always tell people that we have sport and music in our blood. When I was a little kid, I used to play baseball, play soccer, and volleyball, all kind of things. And I think that's one of the things that why we are very well known around the world as an amazing athlete, amazing musician. Because we really had this connecting to us, So, and that's why we are amazing in sport and the music and a lot of things too. So other things.
Absolutely. So it's a part of that culture, that life, that whole vibrancy that makes Cuba, Cuba.
Yeah.
Well, that is fantastic. Now let's fast forward a little further down. Now, something got you to where you are today. Now, there was an incident that happened. Could you tell us about that?
Yeah. When I was 20 years old, before my accident, I graduated as an industrial mechanic in Cuba.
Yeah.
And it was a career that, to be honest, now I realize I wasn't too excited about it, but you know what? We didn't have too many choices, too many opportunities, but at the same time, the opportunity was there to study, and I became industrial mechanic, and then we had to go to a sugarcane company to learn a little, get hand on the machine, learn, practice, and I graduated and I went to work in a sugarcane company. And when I was 20, and I had an accident. It was a very terrific accident.
Yeah. So
I was fixing a machine, and something happened in my area, and I asked my boss if he allowed me to do it, because the person who's supposed to do the job was an older person, and I just felt compassion, and I said, you know what, let me do it, let's switch. And when I was inside the machine, I remember very clear that I look at him, his eye, and he was falling asleep. Oh. It was 1:30 in the morning. At that time, everybody's tired. And I remember when I was inside that I was ready to use the tools. He ran the machine. And the only thing that I remember to say was and the light went off.
Wow.
And I am alive by a miracle.
Wow.
So I was 9 days in coma. I got a lot of broken bones on my ribs and my two legs. And the reason that I had an amputation on my leg was because I got what is called gangrene, and they tried to save my leg, but it was hard to do it, and I had to have an amputation. So yeah, that's what happened.
Wow.
So
your very existence right now is a miracle.
Yeah, it's a miracle because to be honest, from where my body went through, only a sugar can go through.
Wow.
So, but I got a lot of heat on my body, on my back, and I have to. I was a part of the accident that I couldn't see it because I passed out, and people they told me about it, and but I wake up at the hospital when I was in coma. But you know what? I remember it was a moment when I was coming back from the coma that I said to myself, "Wow, I'm going to die. I have many things that I have to do."
Wow.
So, but you know what? I have a lot of support from friends and family. It was, I want to tell you something very interesting. I am very well known in my town. I feel like I'm a celebrity in my town.
Ah, there we go. Celebrity.
And, you know, like, to be honest, I can send you to my town with no address and you will find my place.
Okay, is that a call to action? So,
No,
so people
you know,
just they'll name drop you when you go to Cuba. Name drop Papito Wilson, and you're going to be given royal treatment. Is that right?
Yeah, for sure.
Amazing.
And you know, it was like I said, I had a lot of support from friends and family. When I was at the hospital, obviously my family went every day, but it used to be in my house like a book with a list of people that they want to stay with me to taking care of me. So yeah, it was.
Wow. So you had a waiting list of people that wanted to wait on you. Damn.
Yeah, but it was very interesting life change.
Yeah.
So
I'll say.
From that point, yeah, I had my moment. I felt bad a little, but always have people on my side supporting me.
So that's what supported you. Like
Yeah.
rather than fall into the depression,
Yeah.
which would obviously be a byproduct of going through something like that.
And you know what? It also was a time that my family, I was the youngest in my family, five brothers and sisters, and my family they want to do everything for me, you know.
Yeah.
But I said to myself, you know, I have to start to show my family that I can do it, and just from there I started to do things that they want to do to me. I want to start to do myself. I try to give it to them a little confidence, comfort, and then I start to see people around me with the same disability. I say, wow, if they can do it, I can do it. And then I got into sports, and
So you grew from their strength. You drew inspiration from people. Now I just want to backtrack too, because the recurring trend that I see is that you're selfless. I mean, when it came down to the actual accident happening, before that even happened, your compassion brought you to actually take the place of the older person because you didn't want them to have to endure that.
Yeah. So he was a very old person, and and I want to learn. So Cuba is not like we are wild, you know what I mean?
No.
But it's kind of like the same safety, the safety things here in Canada. People they take it more like it's bigger than in Cuba.
Yeah.
You know, like for example, I said to my boss, I want to do it. He said, "You go ahead."
Wow.
But here in Canada, if I say to
wouldn't
my
be able
boss,
to.
no, of course not.
No.
But you know, so I'm happy.
Wow.
So happy.
So you selflessly put yourself in that position.
Yeah.
And then you overcame it. You were spared. You're like a bionic man now.
But you know what? Now that you mentioned that,
Yeah.
so when you are involved in an accident in Cuba, it's not like in Canada. In Canada, you're not allowed to talk to the person that you hurt. But in Cuba, the guy went to my house a few times to ask me what I need, what he can do.
Wow.
Obviously, by then my family was a little hurt, a little angry because, you know. So, but now today I understand the way that my family saw that. I saw the situation different. I remember one time I went to the factory where I had my accident. Just when I was already here in Canada, and I saw the person from far. And I talked to him and I said to him, you know what? I called him and we talked. And I said to him, you know, there is a history between you and me, but you know what? That was meant to happen. And I put myself in that position. And he felt a release because he felt guilty for many years.
Wow.
So, and I think it was, he cried, you know, I gave him a hug. And I think because It took 20 years for me to. I wasn't angry at him, but it took 20 years for me to realize that I put myself in that position because I asked my boss, I want to do it. So, and in life, sometimes for things that happen to us, is the more easy way is always blame somebody. But
Yes.
sometimes we have to be responsible for our actions. So, but
So-
nobody was expecting that, So, but it happened.
Absolutely. So you came to the awareness that the true way to heal from this, to move forward, is forgiveness, not only for him, but
Yeah.
for yourself.
Yeah,
And compassion to both him
Yeah.
and yourself.
yeah. So,
And
yeah.
even shifting everyone around you. So he was absolved of his guilt. Your parents, which didn't understand, who were angry,
Yeah.
were also moved and motivated. Now, where do you think that forgiveness piece came from?
Well, you know what? I think me have compassion for people I think it's a gift. Also, my family, I don't know, we are very well known in the city, in the town, especially my mom for the job that she did before she passed, and that she
What did
used
she
to
do?
work. She used to work in different company as a manager, but you know what? She kind of like, let's put it this way, she fixed all the company that she worked, but not because she was this angry manager. She had an amazing relation with the employees, and then she worked at the Red Cross, and she was very oh my goodness. My mom was amazing person. Wow. She passed away when in 1999, and I remember when I had my accident, she stopped working because she wanted to take care of me. And I miss her a lot, and she was very well known in our town, and I don't know. I think part of me being like this came from her, So
Absolutely, yeah.
and that's one of the things that I like to practice with people. Even more now that I am in this situation. Well, I said situation, but it's not a situation. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Unless you want to make a situation. So, but I always wanted to help and give a little extra. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And today here we see too many homeless people, and I always stop to listen because you never know. Sometimes people they need to hear something.
Yes.
There is something that click. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I know homeless, gay people, older kids, and I don't know. I know a lot of people, and that's made me feel good.
Absolutely.
And I don't know. I just try to make it simple. Make it simple. So,
Absolutely. It sounds like you've adopted kindness as a framework, and really by being that, by exuding love and being love, you are actually motivating people and transforming lives all around you. Now that love that you have for others and for yourself now has catapulted you to a level which I think is absolutely inspirational. And I wanted to touch on that, if we could, how you've been able to transform what would be construed as a disability or an obstacle into an opportunity for growth and inspiration for others.
Well, you know what? I have my moment, like everybody, but I believe that there is a time in life that something click inside of you, like you have no place to go. That just the only option that you have is to be happy. I choose happiness. I choose to do good for others, and like I said, I have my moment, but a moment that I didn't feel good. I was very down, and for many reasons. But you know what? Today, wow! I don't know. It was a time in my life also that I felt happy, but I went deep, and I realized that I wasn't happy from a good place. It's still something that it wasn't coming from my heart. You know what I mean?
Yes.
But now, people they talk to me about winter. I say, listen, nobody's going to change that.
Yeah,
And every situation that happens in your life, you have to look for the positive.
that's right.
It's take practice.
Yeah.
And sometimes people laugh because I always say to people, for example, yeah, it's very cold outside. Nothing wrong to acknowledge, but it's very cold outside. But I said to people, tell me another country in the world that you can buy clothes for 4 different seasons. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
People laugh. You know what I mean?
true.
It's only Canada.
You're seeing the
It's only Canada.
positive. That's right. There you go.
So-
That's some Canadian perspective for you. There you go.
So, yeah, it's
So,
all
your
good.
options in Cuba
Because-
are like tank top. Or,
Yeah.
You don't get sweaters.
No
You don't
shoes,
have-
no.
You don't have a Canada Goose jacket there. No. What would you have that for? So now, speaking of the right to bear arms, taking you into the athletic world, you have been amazing. You have blown past competition like it's nobody's business. What is that all about?
Well, you know what? When I came to Canada, my passion always been sports,
Yeah.
and I didn't want to stop.
No.
And when I came here, I said to myself, I had to make the national team in Canada no matter what sport. I find out about a rowing program. So very interesting happened with the rowing. When I got into the program, so in less than 1 year, I was able to make the national team Canada to represent Canada at the World Championship. So I did mixed double. So in sport for people with disability, some sport they are mixed, like rowing. My partner was an athlete, a female athlete from Ottawa. Her name is Kayla. So we went to the World Rowing Championship in 2006. We won a bronze medal. But you know what? Very interesting happened there. So I have by then my Canadian resident card. In order to represent the country, you have to have citizenship.
Yeah.
So, but I think everybody remember Jack Layton.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Jack
the
Layton.
NDP
Yeah.
leader. So, and somebody suggested to me, why you don't talk to him? And I talked to him.
Yeah.
He opened his heart.
Oh.
He said, you know what, I will help you out. So, and I think he not even mentioned that. I went to Scarborough to do my exam for the citizenship. So, you know what, I tried to anticipate a little, you know, I tried to use Cuban style. Or, you know what, who is the right person to talk to speed up the process? And when I asked somebody said, you know what, your case is being taken care of. Don't worry about it. And I was surprised. Anyway, I went to the World Championship, came back with the bronze medal.
Wow.
I contacted him again.
Yeah.
And he was so excited about it, and he invited me to his office.
Wow.
So, but we didn't get together because he passed away. So, unfortunately, he passed away. But wow, it was an amazing experience for me to represent Canada in rowing and then go to Beijing to the Olympic. And the more amazing things in Beijing that happened was I already had the spirit to play other sports, like wheelchair basketball, and I saw my former athlete from Cuba, my former coach, my former teammate from Spain. I went to Ecuador to play, and so it was amazing. And people they were asking me, how many Olympics have you been? Because you know everybody here. And I said, no, this is my first Olympics. I said, wow, everybody's calling you.
You already got a fan.
Yeah, you know, but
Yeah.
yeah, it was amazing too. And then I did 2 World Championship in rowing. I did Beijing, but and then I keep looking for challenges, and I went to another World Championship in volleyball. I did another World Championship in canoeing, and and then another time I found a track and field program. I love track and field, especially throwing. And I got into the track and field program, and I set a Canadian record in shot put and discus, and it was amazing. But you know what? When you come in to a new country as an immigrant, you find a lot of barrier in front of you, and sometimes people. I didn't take it personal. Sometimes it hurts, but you know, after my disability, I decided to everything that happened negative in front of me, use it as a step to keep moving forward. Because you know what? Always there are going to be people they're always going to say and do something, and it's up to you to react. You know what I mean? But you always have to find a way to react positive, because this is never going to stop. And I have very interesting experience on the subway. Parking in a disabled spot. Obviously, when I'm wearing my long pants, people they have no idea, and it happened all the time. But I always talk to people with compassion. What happened once? I was on the subway. I sat in the blue seat, and a lady she came to me. I was wearing a suit, and a lady came to me. She said to me, "You going to get a ticket?" I said, "No, I won't get a ticket. You might get a ticket." And then she insists. And I said, no, I won't get a ticket. And I said, I'm going to tell you something. I said to her, I had the opportunity to be mean to you or be kind, but I'm going to be kind to you. And I said to her, you know what? You never judge people you don't have all the information. And I showed my leg. And she said, oh, I'm sorry. I said, oh, you don't have to say sorry. You didn't know me. But, you know, we as a human, sometimes we tend to react instead of listen. But anyway, always being a good practice, being aware, you know what I mean? So because you never know what's going on in people's life.
That's right.
So you have to have compassion. I mean, that's me. That's me. But I encourage people to don't hesitate because you never know. You never know.
Don't judge a book by a cover, right?
No. You never know.
And you gotta.
And unfortunately, that's happened. So, like I said to my friends, if I wear I'm not wearing my leg or wearing dirty clothes or stink, nobody can close to me. You know what I mean? Because sometimes people that judge you depend on how you look, but you know they don't know what is inside your heart. You know what I mean? So,
and that's what I think this show is all about. It's all about it's inside that what counts. And we shouldn't judge based on external appearances.
No.
And that disabilities are not always visible. And that we all should be treated with compassion. If there's one thing that I've gotten from you, Papito, so many things. But one thing is truly compassion. Compassion is universal. And when you exercise compassion for yourself and accept any limitations you have, and you accept the dispositions of people around you, you can truly overcome any obstacle. That the negatives are going to come regardless. People are going to judge you no matter what.
Yes.
The importance is not allowing those judgments to impact your ability to move forward in life. So like Papito, just recognize that not everybody is going to be part of your fan club, but that's okay. As long as you're your own biggest fan.
Yeah, of course.
And there you go. And then it will follow. And you can overcome tremendous hurdles. The thing about it is, you had multiple barriers presented to you from people's opinions, from your own limiting beliefs, and from
my
even
skin color.
Your skin color, and from coming from a different country and having to indoctrinate into this new lifestyle. But never once did you use those as an excuse.
No.
And that is my advice to all of you. Don't fall prey to all those excuses. Like Papito, you have the ability to overcome anything that is thrown your way. And you can draw on his strength, his expertise, his knowledge, his wisdom, his vivaciousness. How do people reach you?
Well, you know what? There is many ways. For example, on Facebook, they can find me as Papito Wilson. I just go a new business card, and people they can Google my name. So my nickname is Papito. My last name is More, and my second last name is Wilson. So when you Google my name, you can find me there. So and you know what? I'm in everywhere.
Yeah.
And I have a friend. His name is Archie. He said, you know what? Let's see who win today because wherever I go, you know somebody.
and you can know him too. So be free to check him out on Google.
Yeah, and he always said, okay, you know what? I think only once. He saw two persons that he knew, and I saw only one.
So sometimes you don't know quite as many people, but you can be part of his network. So don't delay, reach out to him today, and we'll be right back. Thank you for watching. So there you have it, the inspirational and phenomenal Papito Wilson. Now you can reach out to him, Google him, and always remember that the Disability Channel is a place where we showcase abilities, that you never have to worry about being a label or less than. This is all about celebrating diversity and recognizing we are all unique and we all have our own superpowers. So thank you for watching. We appreciate hearing from you. So please reach out to us with your comments, suggestions, questions, and we love having you. So if you know a special guest to come on our show as well, feel free to drop us a line. You can reach us at thedisabilitychannel.ca. You can tweet us and you can add us on Facebook. Thanks for watching.